This is Three Black Guys with a Mic, episode 2.
First of all, let me tell you something. Lamont is just full of shit.
Sometimes my mama said, when you don't have nothing nice to say, you should be quiet.
People say that Stephen A. is a coon. You agree with that? Everybody got quiet on that one? Okay.
Are you drinking, man?
I don't know.
Are you drinking?
I don't even understand how you could even put Common and Bob Marley and Marvin Gaye. And even Marvin Gaye in the same.
Who's on your iPhone, iPad? Who's in your playlist right now? That ain't saying this.
Maynard, I know you a little bit on the right. And Lamont, I know you got that country club lifestyle. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is Three Black Guys with a Mic. All right, let's do it. Episode 2, Three Black Guys with a Mic. It's Spud, Maynard, Lamont, Hayes. We are in the building, ladies and gentlemen, for episode 2. Lamont, how are you this evening? Maynard, how are you this evening? Brothers, how y'all doing? Are y'all ready for episode 2?
Let's do it.
What's up? How you doing? Let's go.
What the fuck is going on with Kanye West out here?
Listen, man, listen. Let me start off and just say first, we want to send our prayers to that brother, send them to his wife and to his family. A lot of brothers said this since day one, man. This is a guy who was really attached to his mom. Once his mom passed, it was a void in that brother's heart, man. And he's just, I think he's in a really dark place. He's been reaching out for a long time. And I think what we saw in Sacramento the other night was the tipping point for this guy. And again, we need to.
Why is he going off on Hove? He don't need to be going off on Hove on the stage and Beyonce on the stage.
I'm gonna say this again. We need to really pray for him because everybody who has dissed Beyonce has almost come up missing. It was a girl named what was the girl? The girl from Atlanta, the singing girl, the Pretty Girls Rock. I forgot the girl's name, but see, there you go. She had a number one record. She had
what was that? Was that
Carrie Hilson?
Carrie Hilson?
Carrie Hilson, her career's over, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, we can't find Carrie.
Timberland couldn't even bring her back.
So, we got to be really careful when we start dissing Beyonce. We love you, Jay, but we cannot mess around and diss B and the Beehive because they will come see you. You hear me?
There's some issues going on that he needs to address for sure. And
what are the issues, man? What are the issues? What are the issues that he has?
I'll start with one issue. He randomly finds out on a regular basis that he's not nearly as tough or as thugged out, or he can't play the role that you remember watching the video of him. What are the answers, Sway? What are the answers, Sway? And when Sway said, hey, yo, man, you ain't got to yell at me. And Sway took the headsets off. All of a sudden, Kanye's voice and this whole demeanor changed because he realized, oh, shit, I really ain't the dude that punches cats in the mouth. That's not who I am. And Sway
Maynard, but Maynard, I think you're taking being tough and being sensitive in the same space, and it's not. He knows he's not tough, but he is sensitive. And again, this is no diss to the brother, but he was raised by his mom, and his mom probably, and this is my personal opinion, when you're that heavily, influenced by a female or a mother figure.
Is Kanye West gay? Is Kanye West gay? Is Kanye West under the cover?
We said fucking sensitive. We didn't say gay.
I mean, no, I'm asking. I mean, Kanye West ain't on the. He ain't having some repressed homosexuality jumps off.
Not at all. Never. Okay. No.
Just a question.
Listen, he got some shooters in Chicago, so they can find out where you at. So be careful what you're told now.
Hey, man.
But no, he's not gay. That brother's not gay.
Here's my question to you, Lamont, though. You saying that, Kanye West is, he was brought up by a single mother. So what are you saying? Are you saying that, you got sensitivity issues and you are emotionally, you and your feelings if you are, raised by a single mom? I mean, he ain't got no toughness because he was raised by a single mom?
No. What I didn't say that, but here's what I did say. And this is me in that country club life bubble, is I think that women have a very large level of sensitivity. They're into, expressing themselves. They're into emotion, where men have a different kind of energy that they instill in young people, so to speak, or children or whatever. So I also believe that's why it's best to sometimes have that mixture of a male and a female that you can put into that particular child. So what I'm saying is is that with Kanye, with that very large influence of his mom, is that he had a lot of sensitivity issues, or not issues, but energy that was put into him as a young man. And not that that's bad.
Jay-Z was, Jay-Z was raised by a single mom as well. You don't see him out here, on stage going ham on Kanye.
But Jay was out there selling crack. Okay?
Yo, but hold on though, Lamont, man.
Told him to go to the library.
We know what's going on in the black neighborhood, man. Lots of African American men were raised by a mother or a grandmother and no father in the house. That's I ain't saying most, I'm saying lots. And he's flaky right now. I mean, he's been flaky for a minute. I'm gonna tell you, and the other thing, it is about the toughness situation. That whole walking on stage with Taylor Swift, and I know that's a bunch of years ago. And let's just say that year Wu-Tang had won. He wouldn't have jumped on stage behind that shit. He knew he would have got his mouth broke open.
Yeah, because again, so you're answering your own question.
And that was a little bit of a far-fetch on the Wu-Tang winning on the MTV Awards, but I'm gonna let you slide on that one.
but he's answering. Yeah, but you're answering your own question because he's smart enough to know where that sensitivity level.
Pick on little white girls. He's smart enough to know that he can be a bully to a little white girl or to a small frame white Beck, but he ain't ready to go out there and be a bully to, let's just say, Trick and the.
Or let's just say this, Beyonce, because in the rant he said, "Yo, they told me in the beginning." Before, I went out there, that Beyonce said that she wasn't going to perform, if she didn't actually win. And so he didn't go out there, when Beyonce won or, anything like that, when he was on his fucking 5-minute rant on the actual MTV Movie Awards. He didn't say nothing then. He should have addressed it then. Why he waiting a whole year from now?
Yeah, because Julius, the cousin, the security, is always with the Queen Bee, and he probably would have got his mouth blew out. So he knew not to do that in that space while she was right there. I mean, again, we're missing the whole point. The point is that this young man is hurting. The point is that this young man, he does need some help. And I told somebody as we were talking about this earlier, I thought that maybe, that the baby and maybe the whole wife thingy, even though it was a Kardashian, because as somebody said to me, if you look at the history of the Kardashian family, and that's, again, no disrespect to them, but they have ruined a lot of men that went from one place all the way down to the bottom. So it must be just something in the juice that they got over there that just makes you go crazy. So maybe it's happening to Kanye. Maybe it's no different in what happened to Lamar Odom, because again, Lamar Odom was on top of his game until he got into the Kardashian space.
No, hold on. But you know what? Let's back up for a second, because we all know what we're talking about, and we all know what the situation with Kanye. But would you spend just a second to really kind of explain where Kanye, what he did on stage, and why he's canceling his tour and all that kind of stuff the other night?
I don't know why he's canceling the tour. That part of it hasn't, come out. But I know that, he did like a 10-minute rant on, what was going on in the world, which I haven't even got to the part of, and I know we got to move on because, shit. Then he started talking about Trump and the whole 9 yards. But anyway, he started saying that basically he's on his Trump moment and he's trying to make, America great again. And so, I mean, shit, we could probably take this whole fucking podcast to talk about Kanye. He went off on radio, not on, the program directors and Doc Winner, or anybody like that. But he was talking about fuck radio, fuck MTV. He went off on, I guess, the system. And so he started going off on why, the system is fucked up and it wasn't cool for, Beyonce not to perform if she didn't win, knowing that he had a better video than her. And then he went after just was like, yo, Jay, you ain't even called me yet. Just call me and speak to me man to man. Nobody knows, what Jay-Z and and Kanye got into it or how they got the, what the backstory is. But it's just a Kanye move. And then he just walked off the stage. So it ain't nothing new for Kanye to cancel shows and, do 3 or 4 songs and be gone. So I just think the motherfucker's crazy.
Let me ask you this. The better video that he's talking about is the famous video?
Yeah,
that video is amazing. That video is amazing.
I mean, he's saying it's better than Formation. He's saying that it was better, artistically than Formation. And because, Beyonce was like, I'm not going to perform unless you give me an award, which I don't even know why the fuck Beyonce would even say that. It's not like she needed another award. I mean, she ain't in the system anyway. I mean, she don't care. She go online, drop her album, and life is great. So that's a whole other, podcast. But at any rate, so that was his whole problem with, that's the reason why he called out Beyonce. I don't think he was going at her on some negative stuff. I think he was just like, yo, that's whack that you would say, I'm not going to win. I mean, I'm not going to perform if I don't win, knowing that I was up for an award and my video was just as articulate, if not better, than yours.
But
the famous video sucked.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I keep saying this, and Beyonce couldn't, and it may not have been Beyonce, but it may have been somebody in Beyonce's crew that may have said that. But all of that doesn't matter. That is still Beyonce. The problem with Kanye is that he doesn't understand where he falls in line in the food chain. And my man, you broke the cardinal rule, which is why they're saying now you're in the hospital. Now, we don't know if he's in the hospital or not, but we need him to be in the hospital and play crazy because he don't want to end up like, what's the girl's name in Atlanta, Maynard? Carrie Hilson? He don't want to come up missing musically.
Carrie Hilson, milk carton material.
So God bless you, Kanye. You need to go to J and B and beg for forgiveness, and hopefully they will let you musically live.
And the radio stations as well, and the radio stations, and MTV, and the TV stations, and everybody. You got to, you're going to need somebody to play a record one of these days. Trust me. I know. I've been in that position. And you're going to need the radio before the radio needs you. No doubt about it. I mean, you ain't going to be Yeezus forever. At any rate, let's shift the conversation into, should we stop using the word nigga? Here is the question I want to ask. Now, in Detroit, Lauren Padell, who was a anchor at Fox 2, at Channel 4, got fired, WDIV. She got fired. Well, she was, she resigned because allegedly she used the N-word. Right? And Sam Riddle and Reverend Rideout and all these people, Malik Shabazz, and, all these people was downtown and they was, protesting Channel 4 and they wanted her to leave and they was, firing. Now, allegedly, she had said that she was tired of covering niggas shooting each other. That's allegedly what she said. So she was on assignment. And she was doing a story on another black person killing another black person. And allegedly, she said, I'm tired of covering niggas killing each other. And she got fired for that. Now, I ain't mad at her, but I'm mad at her. I ain't mad at her because I'm tired of niggas killing each other too. But I don't necessarily know. I don't necessarily know if she got the pass on using the N-word or not. But here's my question to you, Lamont, because I know you had, a little bit of a, you was in your Kanye West feelings about Dave Chappelle being on Saturday Night Live using the N-word. Now, ain't nobody out front of NBC protesting or asking for, Dave Chappelle never to be on Saturday Night Live no more. Now, this little white lady, she ain't got no job no more because she was, in essence, telling the truth. She went about it the wrong way, and she said it the wrong way. But, in essence, she was really telling the truth. So, should we be eliminating the word nigga from our vocabulary?
I think absolutely. Now, first let's unpack the lady from WDIV. Of course, we all know that what she's saying was absolutely correct, but the reality is that she doesn't have the right to say that. Now, it might not be clean, it might not be PC, but unfortunately, that is a word that inside our community, it's used. I mean, it is what it is. So, but I think that there has to be some sort of line that has to be drawn to where, as I use other ethnicities, they have words that they use amongst them in their community, in the Jewish community, in the Irish community, in the Italian community. But if anyone outside of that community uses that type of language, an Italian American, which I won't even use, that I had to learn that, and there's definitely a difference between North and South Italy, and there's certain slang terms that you use that you better not be from another community, and you use that towards them, because you're going to have to address, it's going to have to be addressed in a very violent way. Same thing with the Jewish community. You know, there's certain things that, you know, they say amongst themselves that we better not dare say. When I say we, I mean African Americans, because again, you might be like Carrie Hilson and come up missing. You know what I mean? But really come up missing this time. So it's like, you know, we love Carrie, you know what I'm saying? I'm down with all that, but I don't want to come up missing. So I think at the end of the day, she should have been fired. You know, that also was, whether it's true or not, that was a workplace environment. She wasn't, you know, at the local bar. She wasn't amongst friends or in a personal setting. And that shit is just not professional. That's not something that you do in a professional environment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but she was off camera. She was off camera. She wasn't, you know, she was on assignment, but she wasn't on camera. And this happened like back in April.
It doesn't matter. She was on camera. Even if I'm on my break and I go to the bathroom and I roll up a blunt and smoke some weed while I'm technically on my break, but I'm in the workplace, I'm getting fired because I'm still in that work environment. That's just not fucking professional. Period. Point blank. So,
shit,
you know,
let me write down things not to do at work again. Okay, hold on. Say that again.
Absolutely.
Top five things not to do at work.
You just again, you don't do that. But again, you know, and I know Maynard's going to try to cut me off shortly, but, you know, unpacking the Dave Chappelle thing, you know, this is just my own personal thing. Is like, at the end of the day, that SNL was on broadcast TV. Now, I went and looked up the statute of what the FCC says in terms of language that can be used of that sort on broadcast. And what the law says is that after 10 p.m., it's permissible. You know what I mean? Which is still kind of a little shitty if you ask me, because that word is considered to be offensive. And offensive language is permissible on broadcast television after 10 p.m. Again, that's a dumbass law if you ask me, but that's the law. So that's why they were able to get away with that. But I guarantee you, if Dave Chappelle got up there and he said a racial slur towards the Jewish community, that Jewish executive producer of SNL that's worth about $400 million, he wouldn't allow that shit. So again, that's me personally. I just didn't like it. I didn't think it was appropriate. I think he still could have got his funny on without saying nigga on SNL, period, point blank. And that's why if you look on the tape, why Dave sat up and says, oh, once he said it, he's like, oh, I'm sorry to the executive producer. I forgot the guy's name, because he knew that it really wasn't appropriate. And they'll kind of let that go because it is a word that degrades black people, period. This is what it is. So,
can somebody else have some time, Lamont?
Yeah. I'm just like, that's kind of like bullshit.
Can somebody have some? Can somebody else have some, Lamont?
Go ahead, man. You can have it. You got the floor.
So, my homegirl, the reporter. The thing is, she represents DIV. She has a contract with. When I say DIV, I mean Channel 4. She got a contract with them, and part of her morals clause is, you know, X, Y, and Z. You can't, you know, do anything to disrupt our brand, right? You got a McDonald's. If you think you the owner of that McDonald's and you decide you want to paint that McDonald's green and blue, they're going to come talk to you and they're going to suspend you. They ain't having that. McDonald's colors are these, or whatever the case may be. She got her McDonald's painted wrong. You know, when she used the N-word or she used the word nigga, you know, she screwed up and she had to get let go because DIV is not going to let her tarnish their brand. Now, on the flip side, and I'm not going to get into the FCC side of it because I took an FCC law class in my master's program, and it wasn't, you know, there's some things out there. But on the flip side, Dave Chappelle represents Dave Chappelle. He doesn't represent NBC or Saturday Night Live. He's a guest, host. And really, at the end of the day, you know what you get when you get Dave Chappelle. And I give him some leverage. And comedians often have license to say and perform in certain ways that offend, that bring out emotions, and they use that as a tool, as a language device to try to drive home points or make people aware of things. So
So, Maynard, do you have tats on the front and the back of your shoes? I'm just trying to make sure we're clear.
Cornbread had a fight. Beans and cornbread had a fight. Beans and cornbread.
Because this doesn't mean that as long as we're performing in front of the master, it's okay for us to call each other niggas and tap dance. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that Dave Chappelle, you've known for a long time, and you've been watching Dave Chappelle, and I've been watching Dave Chappelle. You've been watching Eddie Murphy or Martin Lawrence or Richard Pryor and Red Fox and several other black comedians, and they've used the word nigga, and it's been part of our culture.
If Amy Schumer used the word nigga on Saturday Night Live, it would be a riot. It would be a riot. I don't understand, and which goes into a deeper conversation of why is it okay for Dave Chappelle to be able to get away with it, and why is it okay for niggas to continue to call each other niggas, but then white people don't have the autonomy to call us the same shit we call each other. It just is not cool. You know what?
White people can call you a nigga. They might get their mouth open,
but
they can say
point.
it.
Why is it that, what I'm saying, if I call you a nigga, it's a term of endearment, and I'm like, oh, that's my nigga. But if,
that's a whole different thing than saying, I'm tired of watching niggas kill niggas. That's a whole different thing. That's my nigga is a
yeah.
No,
but
let me say
if
the
I
same.
said to you, Maynard, hold on. If I said to you, Maynard, man, you know what? Every single time we get on this damn podcast, we always talk about niggas killing niggas. That's what we always talk about. Now, if we invited, Amy Schumer on the podcast, and she said, you know what? You guys should be tired of niggas killing niggas. We would probably try to find where the fuck Amy Schumer is and go ham on her. I think it is ridiculous that, that we continue to allow it to be okay amongst each other, because this is just my thought. My thought is that we set up for other people to treat us the way we treat each other. And when we call each other niggas and we kill each other and, we go, ham on each other, I think it's just a opportunity for the KKK and Steve Bannon and, all these other people to be able to say, well, shit, they niggas anyway. I mean, that's the way they feel about themselves. So we just they not lying.
Let me give you my personal situation with the word nigga. Now I grew up saying it. A lot of rap music that we grew up on, that we've listened to, and rap music that's still coming out, use the word nigga quite frequently, often. In fact, some of them, I don't even know what any of the other words are in the song except for the word nigga sometimes. It is what it is. And I'm looking at it a lot like, bacon. Like, I'm really trying to cut back. I'm really trying to cut back.
Did you say bacon?
Yeah, I'm having a hard time not eating bacon no more. I love
bacon. What? This is why this podcast is gonna be two black guys in a minute. We gotta lose this black guy in a second. Did you say bacon, Maynard?
Yeah. I love bacon. You know what's better than bacon? More bacon.
Speaking of bacon, the big news about Wendy's 4 for $4 meal just got even bigger. See how a choice of a junior bacon cheeseburger or crispy chicken BLT just changed the value game all over again. Meal includes a choice of a junior bacon cheeseburger or a crispy chicken BLT, 4-piece nugget, small fries, and a drink. It's all fresh, never frozen at participating Wendy's for a limited time. Offer not valid in Alaska and Hawaii. And now back to the show.
I'm trying to cut back. I'm trying to do right. I'm trying to be better. But occasionally when I'm in a certain company, particularly cats I grew up with, maybe even with y'all from time to time, it's just we're having conversation and it slips out that way. I feel like that whole thing the NAACP did a couple years ago, we gonna bury the word and we gonna have a funeral for the, like, y'all doing too much. Because you ain't gonna go cold turkey. I'm sorry. I'm trying to cut back on bacon.
This is what I hear him saying. This is what I hear Maynard saying. You know what? When I'm around my nigga friends, I'm gonna eat all the pork I can. But as soon as I get around my white friends, I ain't eating pork no more. I ain't eating no more pork.
Oh, Jesus
Sometimes
Christ.
white people have good barbecue though, so I mean.
Ain't nothing good about the white people barbecue. I don't even know where you got that from. Ain't nothing good about the white people barbecue.
Yo, hey,
I ain't racist.
I live in the
ain't
South
trying to
now,
hate.
man. I live in the South, my dude.
People. I mean, on white
That
people,
North
but
Carolina
ain't nothing
barbecue
good about no white
be
people
banging.
barbecue.
North Carolina white folks be cooking some barbecue.
You know what, man? We get ready. We're gonna put a certain segment in the podcast. It's gonna be called the penalty box. And when somebody, Flood's gonna be the referee, and when you say something that is totally inappropriate, you get 3 minutes in the penalty box. And I vote that you be put in the penalty box for you saying that you're trying to cut back
On bacon?
Yeah, and your niggas.
Yeah.
So you don't. So Lamont, you don't say nigga no more.
No. Let me say this to you. Do I use the N-word? Yes, but I don't say nigga. Now, listen to me. I say N-word, and I'll be honest with you. I think part of it is because of me having an understanding, just like tonight, and I'll be very sincere. I had a conversation with a 74-year-old African-American male who was one of the first black pilots at United Airlines.
Man, why does Lamont always have to preference who he talking to?
Lamont's a low-key name dropper. He's low-key name dropper.
Yeah.
Can we get the Lil Kim and can we get the Steve back?
But
he can't just say I was talking to a man and I saw. He always got to say I was talking to somebody important. Last week he was talking to Ben Carson. Who are you talking to this week?
Yeah.
Who are you talking to this week?
Yeah. So this is
okay. Go ahead, Lamont. Go ahead.
And his first name, we'll just say his first name is Eddie. You can Google this guy if I told you his last name. But anyway, he just started to explain to me like all of the shit that he had to go through over the past like 60, 70 fucking years of his life, and how that word was so impactful. And it just, once you start, you keep living, you're like, you know what, dude? Like, motherfuckers don't really have an understanding of what that word really means. So now, does a nigga slip? Absolutely, every now and again, but I'm gonna hit you with an N-word more than anything else, or
that's
a
just
Negro.
that's just like me saying I'm cutting back. I mean, I'm trying not to say it. I mean, what is the difference?
That is kind of the same, Lamont. That is kind of the same.
What is the difference? I'm trying not to say it. I'm trying to temper myself when I'm in conversations. And there are times when somebody calls me up and it's like, I ain't heard from them. I'm like, oh, what's up, nigga? I mean, I can't. It happens.
Crazy.
And I try to sometimes, but I don't, and it doesn't feel quite comfortable yet saying, yo, what's up, N-word? I can't. I mean, it's not rolling off the tongue the same. I mean,
you can't say my dog. You can't say my dude, my man, my homie.
I do say that. I do, but sometimes it slips. It is what it is. And I mean, I'm not perfect yet. I'm working on that. I got like 7 more days correct.
So Maynard, if I'm not mistaken, you do have a daughter, correct?
I do.
Okay, now if your daughter came in the house from school and said
no, it's
to
not,
her dad,
it's not acceptable.
What do you mean? Why? What's the difference?
First of all, children don't get to, I came up in the household. My father did. I couldn't say darn in my dad's presence. I couldn't say heck. Darn, nigga, that sounds too much like damn. And he said nigga. So, I mean, it wasn't going down like that. So, there are things, my father didn't let me say never mind. That, that just was it. Forget it. Forget it, Dad. Forget it. Forget it is short for fuck it. You can't speak to me that way. So are you saying that you have son-father issues in your life? I'm saying I was reared in a fashion that children. Number one, I was reared in the tradition that children are to be seen, not heard. I was also reared that when your father or my father spoke to me, that was my opportunity to speak to him, and I need to do so in such a fashion that I earned and kept his respect, or I kept his belt on my ass. One of the two. You can't have them both. So, and that was just it. I mean, and just same way, if when you were 7 years of age, and because just in the past couple of seconds, you were quite liberal with saying fuck it and fucking motherfuckers this, etc. If you had a 7-year-old that came in the house and they said, yo, dad, N-word, fuck that shit, my dude. You would not be cool with that. So it's not the word nigger or nigga or negro that's an issue. It's when it's coming to raising kids, is you want your kids to adopt respectable language, and those adult terms or those curse words or abusive words, that's to be shared with your children by somebody on the street that you don't know, but you know. And according to my father, he spoke the King's English to me at all times and never said a cross word. But when he was playing cards, I heard him say that ish.
I think we all need to cut back on using the word nigga, and we all need to cut back on eating bacon. Let's get to a couple, what the fuck moments. Let's go in on Bill Cosby. What the fuck, Bill Cosby? Is Bill Cosby blind, or is Bill Cosby trying to get off?
There is a difference. You can be legally blind where you're only, I think it's a certain percentage, where you can't drive, you can't do X, Y, and Z. That's our old Uncle Bill. We all have an old pedophile kind of uncle in the family. What the fuck? Let's let Bill live. Bill don't have that much time left. Bill gave us the Cosby Show.
We all got an Uncle Bill.
Nah.
Hey, yo, let me say this.
We all got one.
Let me put my disclaimer out there. Bill Cosby for me is he's like, that's hometown for me, right? So, Philly, tri-state, I'm sold out for Bill Cosby. I got admiration and respect for Bill Cosby and the work he did to make certain that African Americans could show up on TV, and what he did to put Different World on, which made the black college a thing for us for a lot of years after that. And, so I'm going to basically, after that, I'm abstaining from that portion of the conversation because I love Bill Cosby, and that's all I got to say.
So you got an Uncle Bill. That's basically what you said. You got an Uncle Bill.
Right. You got a pedophile Uncle Bill.
That's basically what you said. You got an Uncle Bill somewhere, and you don't want to offend your Uncle Bill. It's all good. It's okay. It's no problem. Lil Kim, what the fuck? Lil Kim is talking about she wants to, she is a Spanish girl trapped in a black girl's body. I mean, is Lil Kim looking for some attention, or is Lil Kim is she, what the fuck, Lil Kim? I mean, why can't she just be black? Why can't black folks just be black?
Black power! I don't know what's wrong with Lil Kim, man. Lil Kim is wild out, man.
Well, with all due respect to Lil Kim, she's just going through the change of life. Because if my mathematics is correct, Kim might be mid-40s, maybe closer to the 50 mark. So Kim just kind of, she might be just going through that change, man. We got to let her be a woman, let her kind of, morph into whatever she's going to morph into, and give her a pass. She should sleep with Biggie Smalls. So, she gets a W for that, though.
All right, welcome back. Three black guys with a mic, man. We going on to Mindless TV versus Mindful TV. I am a Mindless TV fan. I ain't even gonna hold you up. That's all we watch. That's all we will. I don't even know. The only shit that's thought provoking in our household is probably Power. Other than that, we watch every Mindless TV you can think about. Love and Hip Hop, Basketball Wives, The Housewives, and all that shit. We watch it all. And I know, Maynard, you're not really a fan of, mindless TV. You like the more mindful TV, like Atlanta and, all that other stuff, which is cool. I like it. I didn't really get into Atlanta. I couldn't really get into Atlanta. I thought it was like, But anyways, I guess my question is, Maynard, what is it about mindless TV that you don't like? And Lamont, I never really heard from you. So you more of a mindless TV fan or a mindful TV fan?
Well, let me start real quick. I'm saying this. We have to understand, and I'm going to try to do it as quickly as possible. Art is powerful. Art is powerful. If you don't believe art is powerful, then you just need to go back and look at why Hitler took all the art from the Jews, while Goebbels was a master. Yo, art is powerful.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Listen to me. Art is powerful. It is art. It is art that makes you believe that Jesus. Listen to me. Hold on. Hold on. Listen. It is
What
art.
is he talking about?
Can I finish my statement? It is art that makes you believe that
Good.
Jesus is white with blue eyes.
What the fuck does that got to do with Hitler, though, and the Jews? That ain't got nothing to do with Hitler and the Jews.
Then you've been watching too much mindless TV. I would invite you to watch PBS and learn something about Hitler.
I watch the National Geographic channel. You got to watch that shit because the animals was the motherfuckers who killed each other.
But the thing is, this is art. What Mona is doing, what Shawnee is doing, this is art, and this is their art. Unfortunately, it's very harmful to us. It sucks that our black women see other black women on TV and we make them sacred cows. You can't say that about Shawnee, and you can't say that about Evelyn Lozada. She trying to
use the word nigga.
You can't say that about this person. You can't. They try and do better for themselves. No, this is some shiggity, and this has got to stop. It's bull, because we are telling each other that it's okay for black women and brown women to come on TV to fight over men that don't want to be with them, to lose their minds, beating and punching each other and throwing plates and acting in a foolish fashion, and all so that Verizon and T-Mobile can get some ads. Bullshit.
Now, do you have this same philosophy while you're eating a piece of bacon, Maynard?
I love bacon. What the hell has the bacon got to do with anything, man?
Yeah, but
bacon ain't hurt nobody.
You like Atlanta,
bacon
right?
Ain't
You
hurt
like bacon hurt a lot of people, man. But you like Atlanta, right? I mean, in Atlanta, don't get it twisted. I like Childish Gambino. I thought that, the show was pretty cool.
I'm not a big fan of Atlanta. I'm not. I tried it. I'm not 100. I'm not 100 proof for Atlanta. I'm not.
I was gonna say they on there talking about because Paperboy was the biggest dope dealer in the whole Atlanta. He's out there killer.
I felt like Donald Glover did some stuff in there, and I just couldn't. I don't know, the invisible car skits and all that stuff. Too sci-fi for your boy.
What about Insecure? Because I didn't watch that.
Well, that's what I was gonna say, is that between Atlanta, Insecure, for me, when you say mindless TV, it's like I like TV that has great writing. The reality is that Insecure, which I just saw the finale, I think it was the other night, where you could tell the writing was impeccable. It wasn't about, any boobs hanging or any fighting or any cussing. It was about, a black girl and her trials and tribulation with her friend, with her mate, with her job. It showed a lot of real life, experiences. And another beauty of it all is that it also shows some little young black girl that's out there now that's watching somebody on TV that looks like her, that doesn't have her boobs hanging out, that does have a job, that does have a girlfriend, who does have a boyfriend, although she did make a lot of mistakes and she got through, she fucked the other old dude, but again, that's still, unfortunately, it's kind of a real reality kind of thing, but without all of the reality foolishness. And again, it's written very well. And going back to my man Paperboy and Childish Gambino, it showed a lot of those same undertones, is that you had this young kid who did have a girlfriend, and they did have a child, and you saw where he was out there trying to do something other than sell dope in order to help support his family and all of that kind of thing. Because I'm big on seeing a family unit on TV, and that kind of shit is to me is good. It's a whole lot better than looking at, Love and Hip Hop, which the premiere came on tonight, which is on my DVR, which I am going to get to it. But I am going to watch some of the other stuff. So like you said, I'm going to flip it to PBS, watch a little Frontline, you know what I mean? Because they're going to talk about other things that are going on around the world, and they're going to give you some real kind of the news other than what you get on CNN and Fox of what else is, like I said, really going on. So I think it's a balance. So, like Maynard, you can have your bacon, but maybe you drink like a gallon of alkaline water the same day. You know what I mean? To kind of balance that shit out. So I think for me personally,
we gotta get you to some turkey bacon at least, man.
The turkey bacon is worse than regular bacon. Turkey bacon is 100% processed crap. It's worse.
No, it's not.
All right, go ahead. I'm telling you now.
What I'm gonna do. is on podcast 4 or 5. We're going to get a doctor on the line that's going to break it all down to you of the difference between regular pork bacon and processed turkey bacon. It's much better for you. So I got you on that.
The difference between turkey bacon and pork bacon is about 25 calories.
Speaking of bacon, the big news about Wendy's 4 for $4 meal just got even bigger. See how a choice of a junior bacon cheeseburger or a crispy chicken BLT just changed the value game all over again. Meal includes a choice of a junior bacon cheeseburger or a crispy chicken BLT, 4-piece nugget, small fries, and a drink. It's all fresh, never frozen at participating Wendy's for a limited time. Offer not valid in Alaska and Hawaii. And now back to the show. Let me ask you this question. You know, I know that you have ties to the TV world, and Maynard, you know, you are an expert in television. And so I'm curious to know about the diversity on African-American channels. I talk about this all the time, and I'm curious to know because you guys have a better inside track than I do. And why doesn't a TV One or a BET or Aspire, you know, why isn't it more content that creates diversity on the channels? It's not that it's a shame, you know, but it's a shame that I can't go and watch BET during the presidential election and get an African-American perspective. Now, I got to give my man Roland Martin a little, you know, chance. He was in the bar and he was trying to do the best that he could do during the presidential election. But I'm like, Roland Martin, you in the club. I can't hear what you're talking about. You on your iPad. You ain't really giving me the stats that I'm really trying to get. And so I don't see the diversity when it comes to news, when it comes to, you know, just family shows, when it comes to just different type of content. Is it because, I mean, but we always can get a BET Awards. There's always going to be, you know, a Trumpet Awards. There's always going to be, you know, hip hop moguls. There's going to be some nigga shit, but I just think that the diversity in the African-American, you know, community needs to be shown on television. And I'm just curious because you guys know more than I do about why that is. Why is there not any more diversity when it comes to black TV stations?
Here's where I'm going to give Maynard some props. Because when Maynard came to Detroit, he was able to point out some things that me being a native Detroiter, I never pointed out. I always thought it was normal for there to be a liquor store on every corner, or a church, or a beauty supply store. I always thought it was normal for us to have horrible food choices in the African-American community. I read somewhere that the majority of the food choices in the African-American community are either something that are hot, it's sweet, or it's salty. It's never anything cold in terms of like a vegetable or any kind of cold foods, because a lot of foods that you have when you eat them when they're cold and they're raw, they contain more nutrients. So it's, in my opinion, it's all by design. I don't think you can paint all of the stations with a broad brush, but I'll just take two, for example. The first one is BET, which we all know is Viacom. Viacom is hell-bent on not having diversity, but being able to what they call turn a profit at that station. And they have people that, you know, that the Boondocks did a cartoon on years ago, that the head of that station, you know, even post, you know, Bob Johnson was about being able to have, you know, as you talked about. And, you know, you have a station like TV One, you know, and we love what the Hughes family is doing and all that. But, you know, I think the head of TV One, you know, he's not a TV guy. He's a radio guy. So, you know, once he severed his ties with NBC, which I thought was a very horrific move, you know, he kind of just severed his, because he wanted to have his own TV station. But you see what you got. So when you don't have TV people that are in the TV process, I mean, shit, and that don't care about the black community, that either want to have salty foods or hot foods or something sweet. And I'll just end it with this, because Maynard said this and it really freaked me out. Maynard went to a Coney Island, and Maynard said to me, Lamont, you all are getting your food served like you're in a jail. And Maynard had me go back and think about, you know what? Ever since I was a little kid, we always went to the Coney Island, and we were always served our food through bulletproof glass, which is humane, which is inhumane, excuse me. And we have been conditioned to think that shit is okay. So that's where I think we are, at least with those two channels, just because of the bad conditioning that we've had over the years and eating a lot of bacon.
Well, I think to add to all of that, to just break it down from a business model. First of all, original content production is expensive, and BET, for instance, is our first good network that Blacks had. Yo, music videos and running a music video show is cheap. And so they played videos all day. And because they could bring us to the table, we would watch, and it would be hours upon hours of music videos. All you need is somebody to edit, and then you pay Donnie Simpson to come in and say, hey, coming up next is such a... And that was cheap. That was very affordable. Award shows are cheap. They stand up one time, right? You don't have to have 13 or 16 weeks or 26 weeks of production where you have to pay, 12 actors, and, you don't need writers. You don't need 6 or 7 line producers, and you need one person that's going to basically come up with, I can pick the next award show. I can tell you 12 artists that are going to perform right now. I can just pick them out of my head right this second. It doesn't take a genius to figure that much out. And then we can say, we're going to give, Stevie Wonder the Lifetime Achievement Award. And then somebody's going to sing 4 Stevie Wonder songs, and you'll probably see Maxwell on stage. And then we're going to clap, and then we're going to rerun that 7 or 8 times. So it's a very inexpensive way to make money and sell 50 different sponsorships. There's the Coke stage, and there's the Sprite stage, and there's the T-Mobile, rookie artist of the year stage, and then there's the Twitter People's Choice Award by Twitter, sponsored by McDonald's, and blah blah. And it's cheap. It makes money, and that's what they want to do. They are in business to make money, and something like Queen Sugar is a huge undertaking. It doesn't happen in one night. It doesn't happen real quick. And it takes a lot. You got to pay writers. You got to pay producers. You got to pay several camera operators. You got to pay several editors, et cetera, et cetera. And the process is longer, and they can't get to making that money very fast, nor do they get to making lots of money because they don't have 15 or 20 different little things they can sponsor.
It goes back to, Lamont's point of, it's okay for you to get your food through a bulletproof glass. It's like, no, how many times, it goes, even if you watch the movie Malcolm X, when, Elijah Muhammad says, you know what, people are going to give you the option of drinking dirty water and clean water. If you give them clean water, they'll drink it. But shit, the only option that they know of is dirty water. But, I know I digressed on that situation. Let me keep it moving. Let's talk about Colin McGregor and, Floyd Mayweather. Colin McGregor, Floyd Mayweather's been trying to fight, Colin McGregor for, I don't even know why the fuck Floyd Mayweather's trying to come out of, retirement. Floyd needs to sit down somewhere, but that's just my opinion. But anyway, so Colin McGregor says, yo, Floyd, I'll fight you for $100 million. Is this something that, Floyd should entertain, or should he be entertaining Adrian Broder?
Floyd here's my... Go ahead. No, I was gonna say I'm confused because I don't really get into that, but I thought the McGregor guy, isn't he an MMA guy?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
But Floyd Mayweather fought the Big Show. He did that WWE one time and got a check.
You remember? Well, I think this goes back to when Floyd dissed the MMA or UFC fighters. He was like, y'all couldn't do what I do. And that's been 7 years or something like that ago. And I think all those cats have had a big chip on their shoulder. I can say this: that blow that Floyd threw on the Latin fighter, who was the boy that he fought that time when he, the boy headbutted him, and then Floyd turned around, hit him like 3 times, boom, 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 and then knocked him out. That blow doesn't knock out a Colin McGregor. I'm just saying, I seen those daggone UFC MMA fighters take some blows. Like that's just unhuman. So
you saying that Floyd need to sit his ass down somewhere?
Yo, those cats. When I was growing up, there was a side of town where it was a Polish community, and being black, if you had to walk through that community, you had to fight, and you could beat up a Polish kid, and then you would walk away, and you would hear them stand up behind you like, "Come on, motherfucker," and you'd be like, "Damn, I thought I just beat that guy up." Yo, yeah, Colin McGregor is that dude. Colin McGregor is that dude that you hit him. All them MMA fighters, you can't just beat them. You can't play defense and then throw 3-4 punches and think like that's enough. I won. They not playing that shit. They hurting folks.
So, Mater, how does it work if the Polish kid called you a nigga? What would you do?
Oh, we got into it. It's a side of town called Town. We got into it.
So no matter how many times, you knocked him out, he still, got up and called you a nigga again, right?
They called you a nigga.
They're tough people, man. These kids were tough people. You get into a fight and you win and you stand up, raise your hands in victory. And then 5 seconds later, you'd be like, you only broke my leg. Come on, motherfucker. You'd be like, damn, I broke this dude's leg.
Now, I'm going to say it again. So, man, did he call you a motherfucker or he called you a nigga?
I'm trying to cut back. Damn, Lamont, why you trying to...
Okay. Listen, man, I'm thinking about going to give me a bacon sandwich, brother.
President Barack Obama is out of here, man. We on the last days of the first black president. We about what? 60 days out. What do you think President Barack Obama's legacy is going to be, if he's going to have a legacy? Okay, man, that's like what is that? The Frank Ocean conversation?
The legacy is it's going to be serious. It's going to be a big deal that he was obviously the first African American president. So that's extremely large. I think the things that you have to say: first term, he killed Osama bin Laden. He got the Affordable Care Act passed, which had its troubles, and I don't know if that's going to be the one thing that he wants to be remembered for. And and he's been able to do a great deal to bring the unemployment rate down. But I think the downside is it was never his intention, and it's not his fault. But the mere fact that he existed, I think it made racial tensions in America worse. Not because he made them worse, but because people took him as a black man being president as, they think they done took over. And, that's a huge negative that he'll live with, that, the country went through that, not because of him, not because of what he did, but just because of who he was. So I think it's going to be a challenge for him.
Well, my thing with Barack Hussein Obama is that, again, you had this black man with this beautiful wife and these two beautiful kids that, there's a certain segment of this country, that's all that they know. In terms of people that were born from now to 8 years back. So I think as they get older, that's part of their, normalcy. So to me, I think that's a huge W. I think also a lot of the things that Barack tried to do, I think he was pretty successful. I think, that in the end, when it's all said and done, is that, he will probably be one of the best overall liked presidents that we probably had in a very, very long time.
I think the last thing I would say is, I know you guys don't necessarily agree with this part, but, unfortunately, except for winning in 08 and 12, as Democrats, we lost in 9, 10, 11, and 12 as well, except for the presidency.
Wait, you a Democrat? I didn't know you were a Democrat.
We lost
what are you,
9,
man?
10.
What are you, man? You're a bacon eating,
lifelong
nigger saying throwing. What are you, Maynard? And you live in fucking Virginia. What are you, Maynard? Yeah. What the fuck are you, my man? What are you? You fucking
lost 11, 12, 14, and lots of places. And what that basically comes down to is what do we learn from losing the House and losing the Senate? What do we learn from losing gubernatorial mansions? And what do we learn from losing?
You come up with that shit every single week about losing the House and losing the Senate. You are really crushed that we. Right. I mean, because we lost the House and the Senate.
How do you get a Supreme Court justice on the bench? You need the Senate to vote, and the Republicans held him up. So that's part of the game. How do you keep from having the Affordable Care Act 53 times brought up for repeal or whatever? You have to have the House, and so if you have the majority in those places, you get things done. You don't have to go and beg for help. You say, hey, to the Democrats, yo, y'all got me? And they say, yo, we got you. Let's do it. But we didn't have the majority.
I'm going to keep calling your name until you fucking answer me, Maynard.
Hey, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
So now you want the president to run a presidential campaign. Then you want him to run to all 50 fucking states and run for Senate and House of Representatives So you really want the black man to be fucking Superman. That is not his fault.
Every president is the head of his own party. So if you're the president, you're the head of the Democratic Party or Republican Party, whatever party you belong to. You help appoint the person who runs the DNC. You also are the chair of the Democratic Governors Association. You meet with the Democratic.
What are you talking about?
Do you not read? Do you not read? This is how it works.
Maynard. So you're telling me that the president of the United States is also the head of his political party? That's fucking ludicrous.
I am a political junkie. Maybe you're not, but I'm telling you that's how it works.
You sound like you a junkie off of bacon today. I'm confused. So how? Why is it that if that's the case, why is it that the Democratic National let me take that back.
The DNC.
Why is it that the DNC, the DNC that actually runs the party? So you say that the president is the person that runs the party?
What I'm saying is when Tim Kaine became the head. Listen to me. Barack Obama made Tim Kaine the head of the DNC when Tim Kaine became head of the DNC. Barack Obama picked him for that job.
But wait. But Maynard, let's get our language correct because you just said some dumb shit. Tim Kaine, just like Howard Dean, were the DNC's national chair, which is different than being the fucking president. You said that the president was the head of each party. That's not true.
He is the head of the party. He picked, listen, it may not be like he sits there in the chair of the head, etc. He put Tim Kaine there. He picked Tim Kaine. It was his job to do that. So Tim Kaine is doing his bidding.
So now you're telling me that Donald Trump, who's the 45th president of the United States, that he's going to pick the national chair of the Republican Party?
He is because Reince
Priebus. He's not the head of the Republican National Party right now.
But you know what's going to happen now that he's president? He's going to move Reince Priebus into his administration, and then he is going to pick someone to say, he doesn't say, I picked you, therefore you must do it. He puts pressure on, and he says, these are the people who I'm interested in making certain that they take over the Republican Party. And then he gives a wink and a nod. This guy right here is the guy who I really want. And then they say, oh, we're going to vote. The president said we should vote on these people. And they all know up front, he really wants this guy over that guy. And that's how it happens. So you guys can talk about you didn't know and I don't. What are you talking about? That's how it works. That's how it works.
Anyway, so all right, let's talk about music before we go. You kind of lost me on that one.
I'm about to say because now watch it because and we're gonna have to hit the fucking pause button because man, that's still not right because the chairperson is elected by the vote of the members of the Democratic National fucking Committee.
I understand. I just told you that the president says he doesn't have a chance to say it has to be this person, but the president says, I'm gonna put my arm around this guy, and when I do that, that's a sign to y'all motherfuckers that this is my dude.
That ain't the same thing. That's a sign.
It's not the same fucking thing, man. That bacon is getting to your brain, brother. Fuck. All right, man, let's get to this goddamn music because I need a drink now.
Is Kid Cudi back after the rehab or what?
Who cares? Does anybody really give a fuck about Kid Cudi?
What?
Who cares?
This surfing record?
Kid Cudi's best shit was when he was in How to Make It in America.
What?
Kid Cudi needs to call Little Uzi Vert to get on the remix. How about that?
What? You like the surfing record?
No, he's not. Kid Cudi.
That's not hot.
No, Kid Cudi's gonna take an L right now, and we love you, homie. Go back out to LA and get you some pork.
Here is my, Maynard comparison. Now, last week Maynard compared Common to Bob Marley and Marvin Gaye, which I still don't even know how the fuck he even came up with that. But I've slept on E40 for a long time now. He just dropped his, brand new album, and I almost might put E40 in my top 5.
Come on,
E40.
G. What?
E40 is slapping, man. E40 is almost in my top 5. I'm considering E40 for my top 5 of all time.
I think Maynard must sent you a pack of that bacon, brother. You must have let that shit sit in the mailbox and it got in the
Listen, E40 is dope, man. I'm telling you, E40 needs to go.
Top 5 of all time. Top 5 of all time.
Top 5 of all time.
Okay, let me just name a couple that maybe might be decent rhymers, and you tell me which one he puts out. KRS-One, Nas, Pac, Big,
Nas,
J, LL
Nas,
Cool J.
Nas. I mean, I would put E40
LL Cool J, does he put out?
Yes, hell yeah. LL Cool J, get the fuck out of here. LL Cool J? LL Cool J is not top 5, man.
Mama said knock you out.
Nobody has ever put LL Cool J in their top 5 ever. No one's ever put LL Cool J in their top 5.
Big Daddy Kane, G-Rap, LL Cool J, Chris, Nas, Pac,
I'm going to say, but E40 has had a longer history than Big Daddy Kane. E40's had a longer history than Kane. He's had a longer history in music than Kane has. He's put out more records. He's still relevant to the day. He's still putting out music. That slapping record, that, function record, that E40's dope, man. Choices.
I am really disappointed. I am so disappointed in you, my brother. I love you, but I'm really hurt right now. I'm really feeling like Kanye